All right, once again, I don't care about how the video looks. There's things that need to be said. And I took a little bit of time before I said anything because, my ego would have shown, because someone would say if somebody had a spiritual experience and they truly were spiritual, they would stay that way. Well, I sort of live in a place in my life where I can't really, quote unquote, escape. I mean, I could, but in this point in time, it's COVID-19. Where am I going to move? Where could I be off the radar? And why would I want to be off the radar? First of all, I would help any person I know, literally any person I know. If they need something, I would do something for them. But people seem to think that money is what we need, which brings me to this point about the disappointing. Okay, today, for instance, I'm going to use my job for the example. There's things that I place my own orders, and there's stuff that I own my business and I place my own orders to the bakery, but there's stuff that they automatically send and won't take off that I don't need, that I want to get cut, that they won't let cut. But then, if I put something like this online, they'll be like, why didn't you say something? I've said something. I'm tired of saying something and having nothing be done about it. That's just one example. So then we spend our hours because everything comes all messed up. The orders are all mixed and matched. And you're like, well, that's because of this and that's because of that. Quit making excuses. I've heard of reasons being reasons, but there's also a thing called excuses. That's an excuse. Do you know why things come messed up and why things come on the sheet that aren't there and things that aren't there come on the sheet and just things, all that kind of stuff? Is because the people working don't really care. They don't want to do the job they're doing. They're only doing it because they need to make money. This is the point that is disappointing. And then the people that are the office people, they don't want their jobs either, but they put on their nice clothes and they act like they care so much about it when they go home and they don't give a shit at all. They could care less. They put on that smile because they gotta act like a representative of their company, but they don't care either. They deep down, they know they don't care. They love things, they love people, they love life, but they don't want to have to work a stupid job that they don't need. Me, for instance, I deliver bread. Yeah, that's great. But do you know that people don't need to eat 3 meals a day? Do you know that I don't want to sell snacks and cakes and stuff like that? But because if I want my job, I sort of have to go along with what they want. And if I don't, then I would lose it because I'd be breaking some kind of agreement that they've signed with some people, because those people are all just guys with business suits trying to make sure they get money off of their product. That's it. They don't care about the health of people. Well, they might, but they have a job, so they got to do it anyway. So you know how many people are working a job that's actually hurting other people, but they're doing it because they found a job and they got a good job so they can make some money and get themselves together. Well, we're at a point in the world where we don't need that. There was a point where we needed that, and maybe some kids or some people still could use that idea, but with the other ideas that have surpassed that, it's not going to be possible anymore. We all have to grow up and be logically responsible and not do things where we're afraid. Like, we all go to a job that we don't want because we're afraid that if we don't listen, people won't like us. Like, I'm a great dude and I would do anything for anyone. And my mom and dad could attest to this. I'm only using them for an example because if I was to quit my job, most parents would be like, you got to go out and do something with yourself instead of being lazy. And they know how much and how hard I try and how hard I work. And it has nothing to do with what job it is. If I get a job and I need some money, I do the job. And what sucks is now I see the point. I don't want to just do a job for some fucking money, because money doesn't mean shit. And we're hurting each other, we're killing ourselves, we're killing each other, we're wasting our time, and all we're doing is feeding a corporate idea of people who are running it that aren't even conscious and don't know they're doing wrong to everyone that they're doing it to. What we need to do is stand up for something. How many times do I have to say this before someone listens? When I say that I've died trying to do this over and over, I mean it, but no one takes me seriously. When I say stuff like, I love this world so much, but if I have to live in a world that doesn't take me seriously, when all they're doing is literally killing themselves, talking bad about each other, polluting the world, and thinking that it's going to get better with some politicians and some scientists and doctors who all follow the same rules made up by people who don't care. We live in that kind of society. It doesn't mean those people aren't good people. It just means they're doing a job that they were told to do. It's time to become smarter. Am I the only one who's any kind of smart? I know I'm not, and I'm asking this so that you can ask yourself, did any of this make sense? If it did, don't just be like, oh, nifty video. Maybe I'll go look at some boobs, or I'll go watch a horror movie. Oh, it's almost Halloween. Let's dress up and put blood all over ourselves and be a great example for our kids. But then you'll be like, oh, take it easy. It's no big deal. But then the next school shooting or the next big riot where everyone's going crazy, where do they get these ideas from? The stuff they watch, the stuff they see. It's sad. It's sad what we're doing and just making excuses about it like we didn't know any better. We know better. So please join me and let's make this a better world where we actually love each other and we don't just follow along blindly with people who don't care about us. Please, I love you. It's for you. Thank you. Till next time, peace.